bit. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to OT Graps. I'm Omer.
I'm Trevor.
And this is, of course, OT Graps. As I said at the top, Trevor, my man. Nothing's happened in wrestling over the past number of days, has it?
Dude, it's been so boring.
It's been
what are we going to talk about?
nothing. Goodbye. Got him. No. Because, CM Punk is still CM Punk. We have so much to talk about because Trevor, CM Punk is back again for the fourth time in 2 years.
Michael Cole said it best. Hell has frozen over.
Hell has frozen over. We are about to talk about CM Punk once again on this podcast. We never, the amount of times we say, "Oh, we're done," it just keeps coming back.
It's one of those things where, I honestly believe CM Punk is what's giving us viewers at this point.
I don't even think so. I think people have been turned off by the Punk star.
What else is he gonna say?
If you watch that promo on Raw, not much. But CM Punk is back. Survivor Series was this past weekend. Big news as MJF suffers a major injury, putting his future in doubt. And a little bit of news about Punk's exit from All Elite Wrestling as well that has many people talking in the world of professional wrestling. Oh, boy.
A lot of interesting things.
Job in the chat says hello. Hi, Job. How are you?
What's up, Job? How's it going?
Hope you're doing well. Trevor, let's talk about the elephant, the straight edge elephant in the room, CM Punk. CM Punk made his return to WWE at Survivor Series at the conclusion of the show. I was there live, and let me tell you something. I was ready to leave. I was about to say, "Excuse me, sir," to the person next to me, and ready to leave. And then out of just the corner of my eye, and in my ear, I hear, and I see the logo pop up. I was like, "Oh my God, no way!" And it happened. CM Punk has returned to WWE. The crowd at the Rosemont Horizon went absolutely insane. Broke the wrestling world. Trevor, he's back.
I was watching it on Hulu, on Peacock, of course, on my phone, and sitting there, and I was like, okay, well, the match is over. Why are they all standing there like that? Huh? All right, time to turn it off. As soon as I turn my head and talk to a friend of mine, all I hear is da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I said, no. I was like, oh, Christ in heaven. Really? Hey, really?
Oops, he did it again.
So how do you feel about it? Let's ask how you feel about it first.
I mean, how do I feel about his return in general, or just the way they did it?
A little bit of both.
I'll answer both of those. In general, I mean, it's one of those things where you can't not be excited for it. Like when it happened, especially. I was marking out. That's the beauty of professional wrestling, right? You mark out when cool stuff happens. So, because it's a crazy ass moment.
Right.
Above everything, right? To think about the arc of CM Punk just in the past 2 years, coming into AEW, the first dance, one of the greatest moments in professional wrestling history, his return to wrestling after 7 long years away. And then, the injury happens. He comes back. He gets injured again, brawl out. He comes back again, and then brawl in, and he's done. It was just, no one could have predicted this happening. No one could have predicted this series of events, even something close to it. And it is just, it's insane. And in the same way, it's kind of a miracle, that it took all of that. It took all, people were wondering, what will it take for CM Punk to come back to WWE? And the answer, Trevor, was this. All of that.
Yeah.
So that's like how I feel about it in general. The execution I thought was close to perfect because that crowd had just gone through like 5 matches, 2 War
Yeah,
Games matches, 2 really good War Games matches, a Randy Orton return, a pop scare with the or whatever with the Money in the Bank potential cash in from
right.
Damian Priest. And then when we all thought it was over in Chicago, 17,000 strong. I will say this: I've been to a lot of wrestling shows in my life. That is the loudest reaction ever that I've
Yeah,
felt in person.
I could tell just by watching it on TV. It was ridiculous. I can only imagine how it was while you were there, but it was ridiculous coming through my speakers.
Yeah. It's no wonder Stone Cold Steve Austin said that like the Allstate Arena is like his favorite arena of wrestling because he said the acoustics on that SOB are insane. And then they were. But yeah, I thought the execution was great. What did you think about it?
Um, so here's my thing. I'm not sure if I'm excited or if I'm annoyed.
A little bit of both.
Probably a little bit of both. And I was talking to a friend of mine about it, and he goes, "Oh, you gonna sit here and fake like you're not a fan of CM Punk?" I said, "I'll be really honest with you. Like when during his run in WWE, I knew exactly who the man was. I watched RH for years, but at the same token, yeah, he did some great stuff, but he was never like my favorite. I admired what he did. He was never one of my favorite wrestlers, but I always admire what he did. I mean, I'm not an idiot. He's a great wrestler. Best in the world moniker makes sense. But at the same token, at this point, I'm just getting annoyed with it. It's it's amazing to see him in WWE again. Never thought that would happen. But in a second thing, like I kind of have an issue with you debut him on the same night. Third generation superstar Randy Orton comes back from injury. Like I get it. He's no CM Punk. I understand. But shouldn't he get the reference to have his own day, his own time, and shouldn't that be his own time in the sun? It shouldn't be overtaken by CM Dickhead.
I think what happened there was so CM Punk just a few days before had not agreed to a deal. Like they weren't even apparently
No,
like
I knew
talking
that.
like that.
Yeah.
And apparently, if everything is to be believed, it looks like things came together rather quickly. Like the day of the show, he did not have a contract,
Right.
and he ended up appearing on the show. So,
from what I heard, it was like 3 hours before he
yeah,
appeared. It was like that's when he signed.
very well may have been. And I think like it's one of those things. If you're Triple H, right, and you only get one chance to do it in Chicago at a major show like this. Like that's really what it was. It was like if that show is not in Chicago, there's no reason to debut CM Punk there.
Right. I mean, to get that pop, you won't get that. I mean, you get a big pop, but you won't get that size pop anywhere else. Like they tore the fucking roof off that place. Like, and I mean, again, it makes sense, but to me, it's a little disrespectful. But I understand the business angle of it.
A little bit disrespectful to Mr. Randy Orton, who once called Kofi Kingston in the middle of the ring stupid.
Yeah, but he didn't walk past Booker T and say the N-word.
When did CM Punk do this?
No, CM Punk didn't do that, but Vince McMahon did.
Oh, but, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, I was about to say, damn, did we miss that? Did we miss that?
No, CM Punk has never done that, from what I know. I don't think he's that stupid. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting, and something that I have gotten a lot of questions on. I have my own opinion. I believe what I believe, but work or real, or was it real?
What?
Seth Rollins' reaction.
Oh, that was a work.
Yeah, that's what I said.
100%.
That's exactly what I said. But my boy was like, "Well, it looked real to me." I said, "Look, he does not like Phil Brooks. That's not a lie. He doesn't like Phil Brooks. He can work with CM Punk, but he don't like Phil Brooks.
Bro, that man, you know damn well, Seth Rollins, as much as he may be annoyed by CM Punk, he saw that man walk in and he saw dollar signs. He was like,
Oh hell yeah!
we're gonna make so much
Money in my
together,
pocket.
Pepsi Phil.
Oh yes, it's that's a money match, dude. But I tell you what, he sold the hell out of that shit.
Question here for you, Trev. How long before
Yes.
WWE locker room is poisoned by CM Phil? That's a big thing to say.
So here's my thing, and I think we touched on this a little bit last week. The I won't say necessarily grown up, right? Because I don't know. I'm not gonna say he didn't either, but I don't know his mindset. But at the same token, to come back, you have to have some type of like enough is enough. I've been bouncing around. I gotta stay here this time. You know what I mean? Like this time, I gotta do what I gotta do to stay here. And he kind of touched on it, like in his promo too.
Yeah.
But like to say poison the locker room, I honestly believe this is gonna be a different CM Punk. But I believe Phil Brooks is gonna be Phil Brooks no matter where he goes. So he's gonna have some issues in the locker room. Poison it, maybe not, but he's gonna have some issues in the locker room.
I think it comes down to like one thing where there was like a report a while ago. I forgot who it was by, but I remember reading it where like the sentiment was essentially that CM Punk didn't respect the people in AEW because they hadn't been anywhere. I mean, he said it. Like that's something I believe he basically said about Hangman Page.
Yeah.
I think that this and the sentiment like in that report was like he felt that about a few people in AEW. People who hadn't been anywhere, who hadn't accomplished anything in the business. And you're in and the way he feels apparently was that you only really accomplished something if you went to WWE and succeeded there. If you didn't succeed there, you haven't really accomplished anything.
So Dolph Ziggler's he doesn't respect him.
I promise you, he respects Dolph Ziggler way more than he respects Hangman Adam Page.
I mean,
way more.
Of course, but like
he does not like that man.
He couldn't stand.
I think it goes back to that like weird thing of like no matter how much people may be all in, no matter how much people may like it or whatever, what they may say, perception is that WWE is the number one company and is the number one place to be.
It is. I mean, you can't knock that. Like that's not something that's even irrefutable. Like they are the number one company, and like I mean, once you make it there, you should be on top of the world. Some people anyway, but
yeah. But it's weird. I don't think again, and I think for that reason, I don't think it's gonna be necessarily poisoned. I don't think it's gonna get to that point. Like I don't think Triple H would. If Triple H is gonna nip that in the bud way before anything bad happens. And if anything bad even come close to happening, I think he's just gonna be like, "We don't need you."
Right.
Like, and then, and Punk's also in a weird position now that he doesn't have another option.
No, he doesn't.
He can't go back to AEW. At least not right now. I mean, if he gets fired from WWE, he's not gonna go back to WWE. Like what? You gonna go TNA? Like, come on.
He's not going across the pond. He's not going to New Japan or anything like that. He's gonna sit at home.
He's not going to GCW. So
he's gonna sit at home with his dog Larry.
I'm gonna cut his forehead open.
He's gonna sit at home with his dog Larry at this point.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think like it's gonna be less of a problem. I will say this: the news coming out of this is according to FightfulSelect.com, Trevor. I think I sent you the like a snippet of this.
Oh yeah,
story.
Yeah.
So according to Sean Ross Sapp, apparently, you remember how like there was this committee. So when the CM Punk All In fight with Jack Perry went down, when that fight with Jack Perry went down, they had put together, they being AEW, this like committee to oversee this investigation into what happened and come up with a disciplinary recommendation. And the recommendation ended up being that CM Punk was fired. We've now learned that this one person did not comprise this committee. It was a few people, but one of the people on this committee was Bryan Danielson.
Yep.
And there are a lot of people, mostly Punk fans online right now, who are very angry about that, who are insinuating that Bryan Danielson is a Judas, is a traitor, is a bad friend to CM Punk, when anything and everything about Bryan Danielson would tell you that he is, in fact, probably the one person in professional wrestling you would want to oversee an investigation like this, or, just be involved in an investigation like this, because he's like the one guy I think everyone universally trusts as like an impartial, cool-headed, like leader guy. So what do you think about that? Is Bryan Danielson a Judas?
No. It's funny. Like, you hear your marks and your fans. They're so fickle, right? They're so fickle, and that's why I always laugh when we do the nasal thing, because that's exactly kind of how I feel about the fans. Like, hey, if it was done in WWE, it's fine, but that's what's best for business. But in ACW, he is a Judas. He should not be doing this. No, that's not how it goes. It still is what's best for business. The man tried to assault his boss.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, allegedly.
Allegedly.
He also have been terrorizing some of the wrestlers. Allegedly.
Poor Ryan Nemeth.
Dude, right. Also, Chris Angel. I mean, Chris Daniels. Christopher
He
Daniels.
is a fallen angel. That is true.
Christopher Daniels. Like, you pretty much verbally attack him too. Like, come on. And it's not like when he was at AEW, it was like every other week. New news about Punk. New news about Punk. Like, dude, you can't. This is a company that's trying to get his bearings together and trying to keep making itself relevant. They can't have stuff like that. I don't care if it's the greatest wrestler in the world. Like, what's best for business is what's best for business. And no, I don't think Bryan Danielson is a Judas. I think he did what he should have did.
Yeah, and again, Bryan Danielson is probably the most trusted person in professional wrestling by both the wrestlers and the fans and everyone. Like, anyone who questions his motives or whatever, like, what motive does he have? This dude has done nothing but like put people over like most of his career. Like,
at this point in his career, like, not comparing careers and not saying that CM Punk's career is terrible, because it isn't. CM Punk has a lot of accolades, which is part of why I respect him. But we're talking about the same man that wrestled Zack Sabre Jr., that's wrestled like the greats. Like, this guy is he's important. He's a wrestling Jedi. That's the best way to put it.
He's a Jedi master. This dude is like Luke Skywalker in the second movie, in the second recent movie of the newest trilogy. Like, he's just coming in and he's like, I'm gonna go whoop some ass and meditate. That's what he does.
Yeah, that's what he does.
That's what he does. He also,
he's starting to be a little accident prone, unfortunately, but other than that, he's Bryan Danielson.
He also tweeted out this on November 27th. Says, quote, and he doesn't tweet that often, so this is a big deal. He said, quote, "My dad always told me the right thing is often the hardest thing to do. It won't always make you the most money. It won't always be the most popular, but it's still the right thing." We're told that's what Bryan Danielson said when speaking to talent as well. So,
I mean, I can only assume that's what he did. You know what I mean? When it comes to Bryan Danielson, like that, I don't really assume the worst. I don't assume the worst in most situations, but especially with him, I don't, because like you said, he's one of the most trusted people in professional wrestling. Like if that's what he said, I believe it.
yeah, I mean, he is like, y'all know how I feel about Bryan Danielson.
Yes.
Like if you, I am
He
not.
knows him.
No, I mean, but it's like also like a thing of like, that's not even like it's just so stupid. I'm sorry, right, like Trevor, it's so stupid.
It's
Guys,
dumb.
this is pro wrestling. Like,
It's dumb.
calm down, Judas, because he was asked his opinion, and no, not even. He was part of a body, a committee made up of multiple people that were asked their opinion on this, and they came to a conclusion that you didn't like. I'm sorry. Sometimes your heroes aren't exactly heroes. They're not the nicest people. I'm not saying CM Punk is an irredeemable devil. No. But he's a bit of a hard person to work with. And he went a step too far. That's what happened.
Yeah. And it happens. You know what I mean? It happens in the workplace. It happens. I mean, like, honestly, if some people saw like the way Michael Jordan acts outside of playing basketball, they wouldn't think he was their hero. He's one of the hardest people to talk to as far as a fan. Like he used to not give you autographs at all, or he would charge you.
What's up with people from Chicago and just being like stubborn as all hell?
Right, like, but no, like I mean, like it's just like you said. Sometimes your heroes aren't really your heroes. I mean, again, we're not what's the word? Damning CM Punk or anything like that. But like, come on, he's no angel.
He's no Christopher Angel. That's for damn sure.
And he has a bit of a chip on his sleeve too, a chip on the shoulder too. We all know that.
Someone who's been calling themselves the best in the world, who has a best in the world graphic, who sold ice cream bars with his face on it, who sold T-shirts with ice cream bars and his face on it, who sold out arenas, who's won multiple championships, who's been given multiple chances to win multiple championships, who wasn't even a champion and was given a belt and called himself the real world champion. Yep. That person doesn't deserve to have a chip on their shoulder at that point. I'm sorry.
He has one.
Hey. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
You're not telling a false at all. Like, it's pro wrestling is an interesting animal. I'll tell you that much.
That is true. Yeah. Before we talk about his promo, we got Job in the chat saying the internal jealousy's got to be through the roof. Didn't Punk say something to that effect last night? I believe he did. Yeah.
He did?
He did. Speaking of which, Trevor, let's talk about Punk's promo from last night. Did you watch it?
I did, actually. I did.
First question. Did you watch Raw last night?
I did, actually.
Trevor, I'm so dumb. I was like, yo, okay, look. My usual routine for Raw is I'll watch it like the next morning, like on like double speed. Because there's a lot of fluff in Raw. There's a lot of fluff.
It's a lot of fluff.
So I'll like speed through it, and then I'll watch the parts that are important and all that stuff. I sat there, watched it live, Trevor. And lo and behold, the first thing that happens is probably the worst thing that you could ever do to me is Raw opens, cold open. I hear voices in my head, and I'm like, no, we're getting a Randy Orton promo to kick off Raw.
This has never been done before.
Trevor, I nearly tapped out there. I was like, oh my God. Like, Triple H hates me.
It wasn't a bad promo. I will give him that, though. It wasn't a bad promo.
It was fine. I was just triggered. That's it. What'd you think about Raw as a whole,
though? I'll say this. After having a pay-per-view like they had, it's really hard to. Someone fix this camera. Sorry. It no, and I just did not fix it all. Okay,
Oh, you got canceled.
there we go. Um, it's really hard to step up after that because Survivor Series was a pretty good show. It's pretty good pay per view. Um, I figured the Raw after Survivor Series was going to be a bit wonky. I won't say absolutely awful because I don't think it was absolutely awful, but a bit wonky.
Yeah.
I did like the promo between. I didn't mind the promo between Randy Orton and Rhea Ripley. I'm starting to feel like the Judgment Day is like Punk. I mean, not Punk, like Randy Orton when he was opening the show every week with like a promo. I kind of feel like that's what they're becoming.
I mean, yeah, the Judgment Raw is like the Judgment Day show at this point.
That's what it is, dude. Like every freaking week, you get a promo, and they're pretty much saying the same damn thing.
It's like, hey, Dom, are you and Rhea gonna like Finn Balor? Oh, look, my camera canceled me because of that. But like, you got Finn Balor out there, just like
you've been canceled too.
Look, we've both been canceled on this show so far. But like, you got Finn Balor saying the same thing. Dom and Rhea are not dating. I mean, they may be, but I don't know. And I'm going to win, and I'm going to go out there and defend the championships myself because I don't need you, Damian Priest. And he goes, but I need you, Damian Priest. And Damian Priest goes, okay, I guess you need me. Let's go.
And JD McDonough, like...
JD McDonough's like, ow. Ow.
Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah, bro. This is how you know you're... Bro, they're putting this man in a feud with R-Truth. They about to put this man in a feud with R-Truth. That's how you... Look, you got Finn, Dom, Damian Priest here, Rhea up here, and then JD McDonough's like on the other side of the world at this point. Like,
he's in the basement.
He's in the like the bomb shelter at this point, bro. He's in the cellar.
True. Yeah.
The catacomb.
He's very safe at the moment.
Yeah. Job in the chat says the Judgment Day really is the Shield with different people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I don't know. They're not the Hounds of Justice, really. They're just friends, kind of.
Yeah.
They're goth friends. That's what they are.
Goth friends.
Goth friends.
Now that you said it, you know what I just realized?
What?
A friend of mine. So goth has been a theme as of late with the Judgment Day and other stuff. Apparently, UGG boots make a goth looking boot, and it's really funny. It's really weird to me.
Yeah. Anyway, overall, my thoughts for Raw were like, it was not the show you want to put on after a pay-per-view like Survivor Series.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I think that, and it's hard. I know, coming off of like big moments to do that, but like, you get one chance to really like showcase your talent and showcase what you can do to an audience that's just tuning in for the first time. Because like, there are going to be a lot of people who don't religiously watch WWE, who are going to come in and like be like, okay, what's going on? CM Punk's here. What's going on? And in the 3 hours it took you to do it, you could have given us something cool to watch.
Commercial-free first hour.
You know what I hate that? You know why that's bullshit, right? It's because, yeah, the first hour is commercial-free, Trev. But you know what? They just take the commercials from that first hour that are supposed to be in that first hour,
add them to
the last hours. 2. They spread them out. So you know what you're watching in the last 2 hours of Raw?
Commercials.
Bro, all the matches had like 2 commercials, and I was like, oh my God.
Dude, they literally had like one match in that first hour.
It was a tag team turmoil match where the Creed brothers won.
Yeah.
Good for Julius Creed. That man's going to be a world champion one day.
Probably not in WWE, but yeah.
Oh, man. The AEW's not going to know what to do. Tony Khan doesn't know what to do with big people. He's like, oh, my God, he's big. Put him in a feud with Wardlow.
He doesn't have that many big people, to be honest with you.
You want to? Oh, look, it canceled. Look, Tony Khan's trying to cancel me.
I mean, he has Rusev, he has Wardlow, he has
He's got
Powerhouse
Wardlow,
Hobbs.
Miro, Hobbs. What's his name? Lance Hoyt, Archer.
Forgot even about Lance Hoyt.
It was like Lance Hoyt. I'm living in TNA 2005, Trev.
You said Lance Hoyt. I was like, what?
Well, you remember Lance Hoyt when he had the anyway, the Guitar Hero. He was like he had the Guitar Hero gimmick. He was like came out with the Guitar Hero guitar.
I was so upset.
But
the embassy, half of the embassy is huge.
All of the embassy is huge outside of Swerve, and then like I mean, look, Kenny Omega, man, that man has been banging the roids as of late. Have you seen this? The stature of like he's like,
dude, you're talking about stature. Did you see Randy Orton? Good Lord.
My God, I was sitting I was sitting far back, and I was like, I saw the roidiness from a mile away. I was like, oh my goodness, that man is.
Dude, that man deadlifts a whole country. Like, I mean, it's just ridiculous,
bro. Bro, there's no drug testing in WWE. Like, everybody would be popping if that was the case.
That's crazy.
So I was like, that was proof right there. Saturday night was proof. I was like, from WWE, there's no way to pass a drug test. I'm sorry.
But you remember when when Moxley was Dean Ambrose and he came back and he walked out and like I'm looking at him like, who is that? That's not Moxley. I mean, that's not Ambrose. Like, dude, he was huge, humongous.
Damn right. I mean, who's like who do you think is like the most roidy wrestler? Like right
roidy
now?
Wrestler.
Like roidy. Like you just look at him and you think about steroids.
Probably what's his name?
I think we're thinking about the same person, probably.
Probably. Dude from the embassy.
Brian Cage. He is, bro. He's massive.
Dude. Brian Cage he has no reason to be that big.
Yeah, I have the reason why he's that big. Steroids. Allegedly. I mean, it's not that deep, guys. There's a lot of people in wrestling who probably use performance enhancing drugs. Here's the thing, right? Wrestling is not like it's not a traditional sport. It's predetermined. It's not a competition like that. So I don't really see the need to regulate that too much. Obviously, people shouldn't be injecting themselves with steroids every 5 minutes, but like,
right Messiah.
Nothing wrong with a little testosterone. Oh, you know who was Rey Mysterio? You remember when Rey Mysterio returned to WWE back in like 2018 when he's like in his bulky phase?
Oh yeah.
It was like, who's that jumping through the boat, bursting through the boat? Rey Mysterio.
A lot of people used to think Eddie Guerrero was on steroids.
He was for a while, yeah.
For a long time, yeah.
Before he got clean, I believe he was.
It was interesting that he was able to keep that size even after he's clean.
Bro, he's Latino. He could do whatever.
Dude, he was like 5'8" with heels on.
Bro, Eddie Guerrero was like my height, bro. Like,
dude, yeah, and he weighed like 230.
Crazy. Anyway, we both agree Bryan Danielson is not a Judas. CM Punk. I guess the final question on the Punk thing is like, where do you see him going from here? What's the feud that you do with CM Punk now that he's back in WWE?
Of course, Seth Rollins. You know it's going to happen. You know that's...
Does he win the belt, you think? Does CM Punk win the belt from Rollins?
I don't think he does. I don't want to say that, but I think he does. Because here's the thing. You're not going to, like, okay, so take for 2 seconds, think that the top stars do have a problem with CM Punk there, right? Let's stop and realistically think for 2 minutes that the top stars have a problem with him, right? You don't bring him in with one, not really keeping it on a hush hush, not really telling anybody. Two, you bring him in on, and again, we understand why, because it was in Chicago. Bring him in the same night you bring back another legend, another legend,
A legend killer. Heyo.
The legend killer. And like, it was so bad that in Randy Orton's coming home promo, he talked about CM Punk. Like, it's one of those things. You don't do that unless you're going to push him to the moon and piss everybody else off.
That man is going to be world champion at WrestleMania, and there's nothing we can do about it.
There's not a damn thing we can do about it. You say WrestleMania, and that's the biggest pay-per-view coming up. Yeah. He's going to win Royal Rumble. He's going to be Cody Rhodes for Royal Rumble.
Continue.
And he's going to be Cody Rhodes for Royal Rumble, and everyone's going to be pissed. And he's going to probably pick. Hold on, I'm trying to plug my computer in. I think it's dying. Pick
Rollins.
Seth Rollins, and win a championship.
I don't think he's gonna pick Rollins like that. I think he's gonna get a title shot against Rollins, and he's gonna win because, like, here's the thing: if you're CM Punk, right, like in character at least, you have the ego that CM Punk has. If you win the Rumble, you're going after Roman Reigns because you're like, I can beat anyone. I'm the best in the world.
Well, true.
I mean, I don't know. If CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble, man, that's going to be wild. That is going to be absurd. This man.
I don't see them doing anything else with him, though.
How did we get here? You ever wonder that? Like, how do we? Don't let the chat distract you. Listen, look at me.
I'm looking at the chat. I'm sorry.
How did we get here, man? My man.
I don't know, dude. Like, it's been a hell of a ride since we started this podcast. We've gone through like the upbringing of AEW. We've gone through the Kenny Omega era. We've gone through the beginning.
With CM Punk.
I'm just talking about in general to this podcast.
I was just talking about CM Punk. I'm like, how did we get here? How did we get to the point where CM Punk is back in WWE like that?
Well, we kind of said the same thing about Cody Rhodes too.
This is wilder than Cody Rhodes, though. This is wild. You got your eyes on the chat. You got your eyes on the chat. I can see that.
I'm sorry. I'm looking.
The people will get their time. Don't worry about the people. They will get their time. Who do you think came calling to who? Did CM Punk call WWE or did WWE call CM Punk? And if it's the latter, his contract probably calls for it. I think WWE called him.
You know what?
Or called.
Yeah, you're probably right. Because CM Punk ain't gonna call nobody.
I do want to address this real quick. Stop believing Dave Meltzer and Sean Ross Sapp. There are not that many reliable sources for professional wrestling news. Sean Ross Sapp is by far and away the most reliable voice in professional wrestling journalism. It's not even close. Yeah. Meltzer has great sources as well.
Yep.
If there are two people, or a few people that you want to believe, it's the likes of Sean Ross Sapp, it's the likes of Cassidy Haynes, it's the likes of Dave Meltzer from time to time, and then
these are the ones that you definitely
PW inside.
Even if you try to fact check them, you're probably the one that's wrong.
Especially SRS. SRS is like, that man is a journalist.
Right.
It's like as close as you will get to a journalism in professional wrestling. He's probably better than a lot of sports journalists, to be honest, at this point.
I think he might be here.
We got Liam, who is probably happy as all hell. Look in my eyes. What do you see? My boy Punk's going to win the Rumble and beat Rollins. It's wrestling. Anything's possible, and CM Punk's returning proves it. AJ Lee returns at the Rumble. That would be wild.
That's yeah. CM Punk is back on Raw. That's insane to me.
Monday Night Punk. That's crazy.
Absolutely insane to me. Absolutely insane.
You know what else is insane to me, Trev?
What?
The AEW World Champion has a torn shoulder labrum.
He does.
Let's talk about MJF. MJF suffered a massive injury in his match against Jay White at Full Gear. He tore his shoulder labrum on an Uranagi spot off the top rope. Trev, he says he's still going to be available for the next pay-per-view at World's End. This is what he said. He said, just got an MRI. I tore my shoulder labrum, or my labrum in my left shoulder. I'll be defending my title at World's End, I believe, in AEW. But my God, Trev, this is a massive, massive, massive deal for AEW right now. This is bad.
This is not what you want to hear, especially when Punk is back in WWE, and so is Randy Orton. This is not what you want to hear. Yeah, this is and Brian Davis is still on the shelf too, right?
Oh, he returned. He's back. He's doing commentary on Wednesday, and then he's facing Eddie Kingston in the Continental Classic on Saturday.
Okay. So, I don't know, man. This doesn't look good. Don't look good.
It's just like, man, it's like almost like that title is like cursed at this point. Anyone who carries around that belt, my guy, like, because I mean, it was like CM Punk, man. CM Punk he got injured every single time he got that belt, and it just wasn't great. And like now, and then like you had like the Hangman thing was weird, and then now you got this. Oh yeah. God, I mean, look, he says he can defend it. A torn shoulder labrum like usually takes like anywhere from like 2 to 3 months to recover from. It's gonna be about a month since he had that injury. Like, come a little over a month come World's End. So I don't know, man. I just hope he doesn't get injured. Like that's the thing, man. Like, and I know this pay-per-view is being built around him because it's in Long Island, but I just don't want him to get injured again and re-aggravate that injury.
Yeah, like I mean, what's that old additive? Are you injured or are you hurt? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want him to be like injured. Like, I mean, if you're hurt, you can play. If you're injured, you can't perform. And I don't want him to be, injured, seriously injured. Like, I mean, I know these guys, especially young guys like himself, they feel like they have something to prove, and especially nowadays with everything going on in both promotions. But at the end of the day, the fans will be here, man. We need you to be healthy.
Imagine if he beats Samoa Joe with one arm. We're never gonna hear the end of it from that man.
No. No. I'm actually surprised they're running it back, to be honest with you.
Yeah, what do you think about that decision? About Samoa Joe being the guy at World's End?
Do you think Samoa's going to take the belt off? Because that's kind of the feel I got from them rebooking this match.
I'll say this. I think this is the most likely that like I felt like someone's going to take the belt off of MJF in any of his big matches he's had.
Right.
And
I mean, I felt like Ricky should have, but we all knew he wasn't going to.
That was a month out. Like we wanted him to, but it was like we kind of knew that wasn't going to happen.
Right.
Like Adam Cole was one at All In that could have happened.
Yeah, definitely could have.
That was a likely thing that could have happened, but like I feel like this is more likely because
has he had it in a year yet?
MJF, yeah, he just passed the year at Full Gear.
Okay.
But yeah, I just think there's a lot happening with the Devil storyline, the fact that it's his hometown, and I just think there's something's got to give. Something's got to give. We got yeah. What do you think? Okay, does Samoa Joe actually take the belt off him though?
He could. I mean, now if he does, I'm not sure. Because they have been billing like MJF is the hero, anti-hero, the super scumbag. I guess you could say.
Our
He's
scumbag. I'll have you know,
he's
our
been doing
scumbag.
a lot of amazing things. So, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. If MJF successfully retains his title with one arm against Samoa Joe, I will never watch WWE again.
This is a weird bet you're making because I feel like you're not losing. Like you don't feel like you're losing out if that happens. You're like, oh, I don't have to watch that crap no more.
Well, I did tell a friend of mine that if because like again he could do it. I think it's gonna be Seth, but what if it's Roman? And I said if CM Punk is the one that beats Roman Reigns, I will never watch WWE again.
Bro, bro, if CM Punk is that good at finessing, like he's in the Hall of Fame. Like he might be the greatest of all time. Honestly, might be the best.
I'll put him in the Hall of Fame right then and there.
Put him in the Hall of Fame right
then.
He's
the greatest wrestler ever live at that point.
If CM Punk takes the belt off Roman Reigns and he's the guy, that like the biggest finesser in the world. Like there is no one who can reach his level. That eclipses Hulk Hogan levels of finesse, because Hulk Hogan was out here finessing money from everyone.
Oh hell yeah!
We got a few chats here about the MJF stuff. MJF successfully defends with one arm. I can see Tony Khan making his own Long Island screw job and having Max lose. I think that's possible too.
Yep, that's actually interesting.
I mean, it's Long Island. It calls for one thing. The Long Island IC, Zack Ryder, baby. Hell, I'll be so hyped if Zack Ryder comes back. Hell yeah.
Oh, man. God, love that guy.
We got Job in the chat saying, nah, Samoa Joe will win due to the fact that he was the one with the cool head in Jungle Boy, in the cool head in the Jungle Boy thing, and I think Tony Khan is going to reward him. That is an interesting part of this that I don't think people have brought up a lot.
Yeah.
Like, beyond, like, being the cool head in the room there, Samoa Joe lost to CM Punk on his way out.
Sure did.
He got beaten. He put Punk over. And you would think that there definitely is a part of Tony Khan or people in AEW who are like, we gotta make good.
Well,
this would be one hell of a make good, Trev, if he beats MJF in Long Island.
Hey, I've never got anything this good for Christmas.
Yo, Samoa Joe be like, I'm never, bro, this is hell yeah. He's like, I didn't even like do nothing. Like, I'm just big. I'm just big.
Dude, that would be that would be interesting. Like, very interesting. Like, but at the same token, though, like, that's kind of a big pat on the back, isn't it?
Pat on the back, or is it like, would that hurt, you think, MJF's title reign if Joe's the one to take it off him?
I don't think it should be Joe, but we all know who I think it should be.
Who better than Canyon?
Who better than, that's my boy. Rest in peace. But who I think should take it off is, of course, bruv.
Oh my God,
bruv. Either him or Bryan Danielson.
Bryan ain't willing. He's not winning that. He may win the Continental Classic. He ain't winning that belt though. No, ain't no way.
I mean, he deserves it.
I want him to win. Look. I want Bryan to win every belt ever. like you're not gonna get the argument from me. Will he though? I don't think at this point he's gonna win. I would agree with you that Ospreay is like the guy. Like I could also see a world where, and this would be like massive WWE booking, where Samoa Joe takes the belt off of him, off of what's his name, MJF. MJF goes off to heel, and then Osprey. Dun, 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 dun. Just
Yep.
clocks Joe, like destroys him, bodies him, like puts him through the cleaner, like in a 5-minute like match, and beats him at Revolution, and he's elevated to the sky. Whoa, he's so elevated.
Like it would be it would be interesting to see him do that. Like I mean, because like I said, he's going to be like he's going to be big. He's the next generation of AEW, of course. But dude, him and Joe would be a hell of a match, though.
Liam says, I don't even think about Punk being the guy to beat Roman. Don't plant that seed, Trev. The guy to take it off MJF is the only Heat Slater, because he's got kids. So Job says it's gonna be Swerve in the next 6 months. I could see that. I think Swerve.
I could definitely see that.
Swerve is
I
up.
could definitely see that.
That stock is up real high right now. And
Swerve is probably one of the hottest talent they have right now.
And Nana is also high.
Love him or hate him, he definitely is.
Nana is also high. That was the greatest line any promo ever was Hangman Page being like, at Full Gear, I'm going to beat your ass. I'm going to beat your ass, and I'm going to steal your weed, Nana. I was like, Hangman Page, let's go.
Oh, man.
What do you think of this? Oh, sorry, that's not it. There we go. The devil is Jungle Boy, sadly. Who is the devil, Trev? Let's get an updated prediction here from you.
I still don't know, but you said once that it could be the Jungle Boy, and I think that'd be kind of interesting if it was, because we haven't seen him. But why is he after Elite Gold Elite, the Golden Elite?
He's at what? Why he's after MJF? He's just going after people that are around MJF.
Pretty much, that's true. Yeah,
like
true.
What do you think? Well, he being Jack Barry, did in a promo. He had a backstage segment with MJF where MJF told him, like, hey, you want to make it in this? You got to cut out the good guy shtick. You got to level up.
Yep.
And he told him that you're not world championship material. Call him a B+ player. Look, I'm just saying, man. If you want to solidify this Jack Perry heel turn and make it something worthwhile,
yeah,
this is it.
This is how you do it.
Also, whoever's in that suit is a skinny, short bastard. So, like Adam Cole, Jack Perry. There's the only two people.
It's either those two. Like, it can't be anybody else.
Christopher Daniels, the Christopher Angel man.
It's me,
fallen angel in the dark. Never knew you'd fall so far. Oh man, yeah. I don't know. This is gonna be a weird month of wrestling.
Dude, from now until like February, it's gonna be weird as hell.
But yeah, someone in the chat asked, is MJF really hurt? It seems to be the case. He is legitimately hurt. He has a torn shoulder labrum, according to him.
Unfortunately.
Do you have him wrestle before World's End, though?
No. I wouldn't.
Would you imagine if they put that man in like the Continental Classic and they were like, it's gonna be wrestling every week? He's like, every week, you sick.
Every week.
That was the greatest, the greatest line he's ever uttered. He's like, what? It's like when he got put in that tag team tournament or whatever, and and he's like, you're gonna have a match every week. He's like, every week? You want to see me wrestle every week? What are you, some kind of sick pervert? I was like, that's an amazing line.
Oh
man. What else we got to talk about? What else is on the list?
I forgot what else was on the list today. Actually,
we had a list.
What was on the docket?
On the or as a French say, on the Duque. Oh, this is a good question actually. Given the CM Punk stuff, dude, attendance has been low. Ratings have been decent. Is AEW in trouble?
That's a very good question. We did talking about this. I don't know. I mean, are they still young enough that they can get out of this, or Is that Kaputstown?
I mean, Kaput's time. Look, they're not going out of business. We're not saying that, but
No, but
like they're losing. I think one thing's for sure, they're definitely losing the perception war.
they are. They definitely are.
Because in
Like
2021, AEW is a place to be, and right now it's WWE, and it's not even close.
no, not even close. Like I mean, and it is mostly because well, the changing of the guards. To be honest with you, now that Triple H is in full control and they have they're owned by a new company. Like it's one of those things that they're just better right now. But I will say that I think the product is good enough in AEW where they're going to stick around. They're not going out of business yet, but to stay around, to stay relevant, one thing they need to do, we say this ad nauseum, is it's a resurgence of that women's division. That women's division has to be up front. It has to be in your face. It has to be relevant. Like they're not going to like pretty much knock down any doors until they address that.
Are they capable of addressing it though? Do you think?
That's the thing. Like I think the biggest problem is, and quote me if I'm wrong. I think correct me if I'm wrong. To say, I think Tony Khan should not be the one overseeing the women's wrestling.
That's a hot take.
He shouldn't be, because obviously Tony Khan he has an aptitude for the wrestling business. He knows what's going on with the men. He books pretty good male matches. He has not scratched the surface on that female on that woman roster yet. Like I think you bring someone else in who knows more about women's wrestling, and it's not a knock on Tony Khan. This is actually advice to Tony. Like I say, you bring someone else in who has a knack for it, who can get that women's division running in tip top shape, and that's what you do. Like it's obvious you have no idea what to do. You have so many talented women that you have no idea really what to do with them.
It's just like he's stuck in I think they're stuck in a weird booking pattern. I mean, they do have women who are like helping him book or oversee the women's division. Like they have like Velvet Sky in there. I do think you're right though. They need more of a leading, like someone who's not only been there but who has that booking experience. I think Mickey James coming in
that would be great.
Would be a massive get for AEW.
Would be pretty good too.
I think Mickey James would, given her experience like booking and helping present the women's division in TNA to be one of the premier women's divisions in the world.
I mean, Dixie Carter could probably help a little bit.
Look, all right now, now you're just speaking crazy. Like Dixie Carter. Actually, I'm gonna pull out my Stephen A. Smith voice for that. Dixie Carter.
I knew you were gonna say that. That's why I said Dixie
Carter. Where would you? I love you, my brother. We have held hands many times at the beach. I have been to your house. You have served me many a crouton. However, I need you to do me a favor and lay off the weed. That is wild, Dixie Carter. I'm sorry.
That was hilarious.
Yo, she was at Raw the other night.
I was going to say that's the only reason I said it, because she popped up in Raw. That's the only reason I even mentioned her name.
Speaking of Raw, Kenny Baum, a good friend of the show, Kenny Baum says Raw was so bad last night.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was. Oh, but Kenny says WWE better than AEW is crazy. I mean, they're a hotter company. That is for damn sure. They're drawing better. They're drawing bigger houses. They're always going to draw more TV ratings, but like WWE right now, like it is, they're better. They're doing a better job at bringing people in. And that's like, even if you adjust for that inflation, like AEW is like getting like 3,000 people, 4,000 people on a good night for a show. That's not a
I
pay-per-view.
feel like the matches are better than AEW though.
Oh, way better. In-ring is not even close. Like
The in-ring is way better. Yeah, the product is way better. But like you said, you have all these superstars, all this, fanfare. Like it's going to get more eyes, especially now that they got CM Punk.
Oh my god! But what'd you think about his promo though? I thought it was a little.
It was okay. It seemed a little personal, actually.
He didn't say anything though. He was just like,
yeah,
I'm home.
He just came out there and just talked.
Hockey joke. I'm home. Hockey joke.
People are jealous of
the
me.
World. I'm done. Bye. I'm here for
money.
HJ
is hot. Is good. She says hi. Like the fuck.
AJ says hi. He didn't even call her April. He called her by her Fed name. her World Wrestling Fed name.
But let's be honest. Now he did say the only difference from his AEW promo from his WWE promo is he pretty much said that he was coming to look for better talent. He was coming to challenge the better talent. I'm thinking AEW. But his I Love You Fest lasted like almost a year.
Bro, that honeymoon with CM Punk that was like the long-ass honeymoon period. If you take that out, he only really had 2 great feuds. Well, he had 3 great feuds during his time in AEW. Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. And
the Eddie Kingston one was cut way too short.
Oh, but that was a great program. That was a hell of a program.
But it was cut way too short.
That was a hell of a program. Like, you remember Eddie Kingston just be like, I don't want to wrestle you. I want to fight you. I want to fight you. I want to fight you. I'm Eddie Kingston. I fight people.
And that now he's a champion. Isn't that crazy?
Bro, this man is defending. He's like, I went to Japan. I won world titles, and now I'm gonna put my world championship on the line. All of them in the line in the Continental Classic because I love this business. I'm Eddie Kingston. I love Eddie Kingston. I love that man.
He's growing on me. He's definitely growing on me.
Oh, he's growing on you for sure. We got Ryan in the super chat. Thank you so much, Ryan, saying, hi, bro. Should WWE bring Ken Shamrock back as a manager? That is a wild-ass question, Trev. I'm going to give that to you first.
God damn it.
Bring Shamrock back.
We were sitting there talking about roid rage.
Hey. That man was not on roids for a little bit.
For a little bit. No, he wasn't. I say no.
Why do you say no?
I say Shamrock is some mental case and should be left where he is. Dude, like, Shamrock in the ring was not pretty.
You remember when
it was not?
You remember when The Rock, he told The Rock to hit him as hard as he could in the head with a steel chair, otherwise he wouldn't sell it?
Yeah, I remember that,
yeah. This dude is insane.
This was a crazy person, dude.
But a crazy person aside, guess who inducted him in the TNA Hall of Fame?
Who?
Guess. It's like a wild, wild answer.
I probably won't guess this one. RVD?
The Rock.
Huh?
The Rock inducted Ken Shamrock in the TNA Hall of Fame. The Rock made his TNA debut like 3 years ago, inducting Ken Shamrock in the Hall of Fame.
I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't even aware TNA had a Hall of Fame.
Sorry. The Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame.
What was they got, like 6 wrestlers in it?
Hey, man. It's at least 7. Dude, Bruce Pritchard on his podcast told a funny-ass story about the TNA Hall of Fame. When they inducted Sting, this is back when Bruce Pritchard's podcast was actually good, but they inducted Sting into the Hall of Fame, and he just explains how, like, the lead up to the Hall of Fame was a mess. Like, he's like, I had to fight to get food for the wrestlers at the Hall of Fame dinner. And they ended up having to put, in order to afford the Hall of Fame dinner, they ended up having to put like the wrestlers, one wrestler at a table with a table of fans. So like AJ Styles is sitting there at a round table with like 9 fans, which is, I'm like, bro, that man is not happy.
No,
and then
he's
like
probably frightened.
And then like they ran out of food. And then if Dixie Carter didn't want to feed the wrestlers, and Bruce Pritchard was like, well, okay, give my food and my producer's food to the wrestlers, and I'll just buy us some food. It's whatever. And then like Dixie Carter was like, well, I don't want Sting to eat this like shitty airport chicken. I'm gonna go take him out to a nice steak dinner. He took him out to a nice steak dinner before the Hall of Fame. And then he had to fight to get Lex Luger some money because he was inducting him in the Hall of Fame. Like, why wouldn't he just? Because Dixie Carter said, why wouldn't he just do it for free? I'm like, it's a payday. Like, it's anyway. More the reason not to have Dixie Carter running your wrestling company.
Oh yeah, Dixie Carter shouldn't run anything.
Let's see what else we got here. But yeah, to your question, Ken Shamrock. It would be nice to see him as a one-off. I don't think he should be a manager, though. I don't know what he provides there.
No. Steve
Blackman, though.
Oh, yes. You are an advocate for Steve Blackman.
I too am a white ninja. Except I'm a little not white. What else we got? Isn't Britt Baker in charge of the women's division? No, she is not.
She's not. No.
She is in the women's division.
She probably should be, though.
I mean, I know the same thing. Both shows have writers, but the final say is Tony Khan or Triple H. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Although Tony Khan apparently has like a matrix. Like, if y'all
ever
watch,
like 16 different people.
Bro, no. Did you ever watch AEW All Access, like the reality show about AEW?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you like watch that, there's a scene where Tony Khan has like his like matrix, his chart that helps him like figure out like all the matches, and it's like I don't understand what this dude is on. Because it is like the wildest chart ever. He's like, yeah, so like, look, in 3 weeks you're gonna be facing Will Ospreay, and then Sammy he's like, in 3 weeks, okay, so next week you're gonna be on Rampage and you're gonna face, remember the JAS, which is great, and then 3 weeks you're gonna be facing Bryan Danielson, the main event of Dynamite, and then you go, whoa, wait a minute, wow, how did you get there? Like for Sammy Guevara, like, wait, what? How did we? Like,
dude, he goes a mile a minute, dude. I swear he does. He's like, his
the man drinks way too much coffee. Way too much coffee.
I'm surprised there's not smoke coming out of his ears, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. Full Gear Survivor Series got to make a run. Oh, my God. We got, I would be afraid Dixie running a McDonald's, says Josh Shaw. I know this is sad, but I really love when R-Truth came back on Saturday. That's not sad. R-Truth is a funny guy.
Oh, this was great.
I hate what they're doing with Tozawa, though. The farting gimmick.
No, yeah, me too.
Where he's doing a little dance.
Did you see him dancing with Jelly Roll? Hey, go ahead, hit him with the Jelly Roll.
Who the hell is this Jelly Roll? Who is this fake ass? He's
a country singer.
He's like if Post Malone and Action Bronson had a baby. Like this dude. Jelly Roll. This Action Malone. This Action Malone looking ass, boy.
No, he's a country singer. He writes music. His story is amazing. He's
damn.
Pretty
You about to make me feel some type of way about Jelly Roll? That's wild.
I mean, the name is just hilarious, but no, he really is a good dude.
R-Truth being like, where the Jelly Rolls at?
He's going, so hit him with the Jelly Roll. I was crying.
This man was eating Jelly Rolls in the Judgment Day locker room. That was wild. Yeah, it says Tony has his hands full with many things. He needs to have help from other experienced wrestlers and classic bookers. Well, he does. He does. He has
He
Sanjay
definitely
Dutt.
does.
Sanjay Dutt.
I just don't think it's focused on that women's division now.
It's not. But he has Sanjay Dutt. He has Dean Malenko as a producer. He has Jerry Lynn helping him out with Ring of Honor. And he also has Jeff Jarrett helping him out as well. He's like a very experienced booker. He's ran multiple companies into the ground.
I wasn't going to say that, but yes.
I mean, it's true. The truth is truth.
What they say? Right in the shitter.
Yeah. I guess, going back to... Oh, wow.
What?
Don't even know how that happened. But going back to, I guess, the point of, AEW. What can AEW do? Because, I think, one of their problems is, they just don't... Not that they don't tell stories, but, it just feels like week to week, we don't know what's going to happen the next week. I just think, there's not enough that anticipation.
It's not... Yeah, I can't say it's marketing because it's not necessarily marketing. Because they market pretty well, actually. As far as, pay-per-views and merchandise and things like that. But what they don't do, like you said, they don't develop matches, right? You had in WWE where people just have one-off matches and not talk about it. There was no build-up, nothing, right? But at the same token, though, I think to be better than that situation, you have to do better. You know what I mean? You have to, for instance, Keith Lee versus Samoa Joe, amazing match. But there was no lead up to it. We didn't know it was happening. We didn't even know it was happening. If we knew it was happening, we'd be more excited about it, blah, blah, blah. It's so many matches they have where you're like, okay, this could be fun. Where's the build-up? Where's the storytelling? It's not there. And that's why that's one of the reasons why I think they're failing with the viewers and everything. Because let's be honest, like you said, the in-ring product is untouchable at this point. Mm-hmm. The in-ring product is 10 times better, right?
Yep.
But it's more little things. It's more I guess you could say cosmetic things that are wrong with the company.
Do you think that Dynamite and Collision are too similar?
Yes. And I think that's the problem. I think that's another problem. I think if you did they're doing with they've done for years with SmackDown and Raw, I think you'd have I think you might have more viewership because everyone loved Collision when it first came out. It was one of your favorite shows.
It was my favorite show in wrestling for that little. Look, you know when the tide changed. Is when CM Punk left. That's just it's true. It's true.
Gotta say what's right, right? When CM Punk left, that's when the show. But no, it can be fixed, right? It can definitely be fixed, but it's just sad to see.
We got Ryan in the chat asking, "Hi, bro. Whatever happened to the 24/7 title? That got canned."
They got canned because it got too annoying.
Do you think Raw is too long to go back to 2 hours? It would be nice if Raw went back to 2 hours, but it won't.
It won't.
That show's never going back to 2 hours.
And another thing I want to talk about.
Uh-oh.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh, he's mad, people. He's mad. Something's got him hot and bothered.
Dude, okay. I know you've seen this.
Let's go.
You have to see this.
What have I seen? I don't know.
Ryback.
I wanted to talk to you about this. Yo.
What?
The funniest thing about CM Punk's return. Look. As no matter what you think about CM Punk, everyone is like this in agreement with that man forcing Ryback to retire. That man was so mad that CM Punk came back.
Oh, he was pissed. He said if CM Punk comes back, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, so Ryback, feed me, muscle bound freak.
Speaking of roids.
There you go. Roy's made Tic Tacs for him. they
Go on.
they realized that he realized he was coming back, so he gets on his Twitter, and this is why people shouldn't have Twitter. He goes, "Oh, if CM Punk comes back, I'm retiring." First off, I thought you retired a long time ago, so whatever. But then when he comes back, what does he say? What does he say, Homer? What does he say? I meant if he came back to AEW, I would retire.
Fucking the look. He's a liar. like, what more do you
Dude.
want? He's a liar. Like. I will say there were feed me more chants in that arena on Saturday, and it was really funny. The guy behind me was like, "Feed me more, feed me more." Oh, you want to know a funny ass story from the show on Saturday? So, so I actually met Justin, Juggernaut 097.
Oh yeah, you said you were going to
Yeah. I saw him at the show, and like we caught up, and like then I went to go to my seat, and I sat down. And I noticed like there was like a couple, like a couple who was like sitting in a seat away from me, right. And it was a guy and a girl, and like the guy was like, yeah, those are great seats, whatever, like talking mad shit about these seats, like yeah, like yeah, I do anything for you, all that shit.
Okay,
great, cool. But like one match goes by. It's the women's War Games match. And it's like an hour long. And then I see like security come. Okay. And security comes, like looks at me and points at me while looking like behind them. And I'm like, excuse me. I have a ticket. I was like, I have a ticket here. And then the guy who's like looking at says, no, not him. The other two. And he goes, can I see your guys' tickets? And the guy goes, why? And Trevor, this man had tickets for like all the way up there in the nosebleeds. Nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing to be ashamed of at all.
Nothing to be ashamed of at all. But
he brought his girlfriend with him, and he was like, baby, I'm gonna show you a nice show. And he got down to the lower bowl where I was at, a few rows up, because seats were very, very expensive for that show. So I was like, had budget for like $100.
Right.
And they were like, you gotta go. And then like 3 dudes just come down and sit in their seats they were assigned. So this man got kicked out. He tried to show his girlfriend a good time and try to show how great of a boyfriend he is because he spent all his money on these seats. But Trevor, this man is wild.
So working at Capital One, I've seen that before. I've seen that a lot, actually. Like one dude in particular trying walking past me. I'm like, hey, can I see the ticket? No, I showed it to the dude over there. I'm like, then why are you walking on this door? He's like, because my seat's right there, so you can't get to those seats on this side. He's like, he just looked at me and then walked down, found out he couldn't get to him, and walked back up. And I was like, dude, if you show me a ticket, I can tell you how to get your seat. I don't need you to show me how to get my seat. Cool, whatever.
Here's the thing. That's a fine thing to do. It's a fine thing to try, honestly, if you're by yourself or if you're with friends. If you're
if you're bringing your girlfriend, dude.
I'm saying, if you're on a date, bro, you ain't doing that. No.
I bet she laughed her ass off.
Oh, she was not happy. She was not. I saw her face as she was walking by. She was like, she was mad, bro. She was mad.
She cussed him out. I know she did.
Oh man. As we're wrapping up here, we got Ryan with another super chat. Thank you so much, Ryan. Saying,
thank you, sir.
Hi, bro. I love how Ryan made this especially hard for me. Hi, bro. Do you want to see Rollins versus CM Punk versus The Miz?
No. I don't care. Even though, kudos to Miz, that was a good match. He gave us a good match, decent match at Survivor Series. Decent match. But, no. No.
My name Bishop Bullwinkle. First church, nothing but the truth. And I'm going to say, hell nah to the nah. Hell
Wait,
to the nah.
go
To
back.
the nah.
You say you Bishop H. Bullwinkle?
First church, nothing but the truth. If y'all, for those of you who remember that meme, a can of Coke to you. But I love you, Ryan. But
Oh, great.
you take versus the Miz out of there, and I'm all in with you. But what the Miz? Come on now.
Yeah.
Miz will not sell tickets as Rollins Punk. You're damn right he won't. People will. People will be less hyped about that match if the Miz is in
You know
it.
the only reason people buy tickets to that? To see Miz lose. Now,
yep.
Here's another question I have for you, real quick. Once we're going up,
Go for it.
Does it, since you have Punk and Randy Orton back, two high-profile wrestlers, especially CM Punk, does that change where they were going with guys like LA Knight, Cody Rhodes? Does that change the mission statement? Does that change the narrative, I guess?
No. Yeah, WWE should not change their plans for those guys. Because, I mean, well, at least not Cody. You should not change your plans for Cody Rhodes. Like, you do not. That man wins the belt at Mania, or else people are going to have a freaking problem with it.
I think he might have one.
Adrenaline. I'm back. You guys. Could you imagine this man being like, I'm back home. And I lied. I didn't want to win that belt. I want to win the most prestigious belt in the world, the AEW Championship. If this man gets screwed out of the belt, watch this man go to AEW as soon as his contract expires.
I'm done with this shit.
He's like, y'all killing me.
You know what I think they should do, LA Knight, though? I think LA Knight should be the one to dethrone Gunther.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I think that's how you give him notoriety. That's how you introduce him to a belt. Now, I honestly believe the man should have she should have a actual championship. But I mean, it's the run that Gunther's going on. He's brought prestige back to the Intercontinental Championship, so definitely.
My last question for you, wrestling related, is Gunther the best Intercontinental Champion of all time?
One of the best I've ever seen. He's the best I've ever seen. Besides a couple of people that we've already mentioned, it's one of the best Intercontinental champs I've seen.
I thought about it. I had a long think about it, and I was like, he is the best. Like, who else has had a more meaningful reign as the Intercontinental Champion?
I mean, let's see. Let me give him credit where credit's due. Miz had a good one. Mr. Perfect, of course. Sean had a decent one. What was the one you mentioned?
Brett 92.
Brett 92 was a very good one, actually.
Great run.
Didn't Owen have it too?
He is not a nugget.
Rock had it. Triple H had it. Of course.
Those were good, like, defining runs. But man, like, I can name at least 9 better Intercontinental champions than the Miz.
I mean, I could probably name 40, but
Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson had a better Intercontinental title reign than the Miz did. Any of his,
and it was short. And it was kind of short.
It was like a month long. He defended it once.
Yeah.
Once.
It was kind of. I mean, Dolph's run with it was a little better than the Miz.
He's here to. Brett, Gunther, Dolph, Brett again. Hulk Hogan never won the IC title. Don't do that. Mr. Perfect.
My God.
Who was it? Randy Orton had a better Intercontinental title reign than the Miz.
Sure did.
Triple H, The Rock, hell, Steve Austin.
He didn't keep it that long.
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like, Sir William Regal as the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah,
Get
that was
the
fun.
hell out of here. Better than the Miz. Man.
That was fun.
I could go
Was
on.
Wasn't Lance Storm Intercontinental champion too?
Look. Paint
The-
drying is not exactly making of a great intercontinental champion, right?
yes, like Chris Jericho called him, Mr. I am Mr. Roboto. I have no charisma.
You can literally JBL. You can literally hear the paint dry. Oh man,
man.
Ricky Steamboat. Damn right, Josh.
Almost forgot about Ricky Steamboat. Yeah, you good one, Josh.
Yeah, I am not gonna read that, Job. But okay, guys, this has been a fun show. Trevor, what are you watching lately? What are you doing? What's going on? What have you been watching? What are you reading? Are you reading?
What am I reading? Actually, I have been reading. I've been reading a lot lately, which is interesting.
That's good.
I used to read a lot. I've been reading.
Uh-oh.
Let's see.
God said, "Thou
couple
shalt
books
not read."
From a young author.
Oh, he's a little stuffy. He's a little stuffy. It's okay. Keep talking.
So
we can hear you.
Sorry, I'm stuffy and I'm reading stuff. Sorry, guys. Anyway, and I apologize for my voice. This time of year, my voice goes in and out. So let's see. I've been reading a lot of graphic novels. I went back and started reading Invincible again by Robert Kirkman.
Oh, what do you think about the new season?
It's actually really good.
I'm 2 episodes in. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like the multiverse shit.
It's
too early for multiverse stuff.
Yeah. That probably should be more middle season, I believe.
Or like season 3, man. Like
I feel like they're putting too much in already. I mean, even though I read the comics, I know where they're going, but like I feel like they're jumbling it up too much. Yeah, I was reading that. Couple horror novels. I've been watching a lot of movies that I didn't catch up on. Did you have you ever seen that movie Sisu?
Sisu?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
It's about a war veteran who was in I think he took part of a civil war or whatever, but he was in the area with the Nazis, and he was just a panhandler, and he was trying to get his gold, and the Nazis pretty much messed with the wrong man, and he went ham.
That's crazy.
It's actually a really good movie. It's on I want to say it's on Hulu.
Yeah, if there's one thing I love seeing Nazis get what's coming to them. I love that movie. My favorite line in Inglourious Basterds is like, "We're here for one reason only, killing Nazis."
I like that one too.
We got Ryan with a late super chat here saying, "Trevor, do you want to see the Packers make the playoffs?"
I don't see how it's possible they can.
But do you want it to happen?
No.
Why don't you want the Packers?
Even though I like Jordan Love, but he ain't ready. He's not ready yet.
Is Jordan Love the guy though?
No.
It's early though. It's still early.
I mean, well, you know what? Actually, it's funny you say that. I was having this conversation with someone else, and honestly, like I said before, and I'm saying it again, he's a young quarterback. It is early in his career. What? It's like his second year, something like that.
Third year, but yeah.
It's still early in his career. Like, I mean, he can turn around. Unfortunately, guys like him, I mean, I think he's set behind him maybe 2 years. But, like, guys like him, unfortunately, don't get a chance nowadays to sit behind veteran quarterbacks, and learn. And that's part of his issue. But it's still really early. Too early to tell, honestly.
If Jordan Love wins one more game this year, he will have won the same amount of games as Aaron Rodgers did his first year as a starter in Green Bay. And that team went 6-10.
Sure did. Yep.
This team looks to be in a much better position to go better than 6-10. So,
like I said, it's way too early to tell. I wouldn't call him a bust or anything like that because I don't think he is. It's really early in his career.
He's a young guy.
Yeah. He's very young. Like he doesn't really have a whole lot of receivers to throw to. What's his name was always hurt. The running back's always hurt. Like it's you know,
You know who's definitely not the guy for their team? Zach Wilson.
I don't think poor Zach Wilson's the guy for any team at this point. To be honest
Just
with
no
you,
one's guy. He's just sad little
and I
boy.
really wanted him to be. I really wanted him to be.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. I think this is the part where we
What
bid.
What did Josh say?
What did?
I look like
Oh
JYD.
yeah, he said you look like JYD.
Hey, Louisiana loved him.
Trevor is a Louisiana crawfish boy.
Louisiana loved him.
Well, what would your
What
wrestling name
about
be?
North Carolina?
What do you think your wrestling name would be? Like the crawfish crawler? Oh.
When I was younger, like when I wrestled in the backyard wrestling, I my name was Hollywood, and I took the persona, I meshed a couple people together to be like it was Shawn Michaels and somebody else. Like I was kind of a cocky asshole. Um, yeah.
You want to know what my wrestling gimmick was?
What?
I was someone who couldn't wrestle. Who was really good at wrestling.
So you were Eugene.
I was not Eugene. That was not the gimmick.
I know.
My whole thing was like I was just a guy who I was Santino Marella is who I was. All right, that's actually who I was. I was Santino Marella, the original Santino, who just came in and like I was like, oh my god, I don't know how to do this. But I'm really good at it. That way I could be crap and everyone would love it. Hollywood T is a good name though. Hollywood T is much better than my wrestling name.
What was your name?
Alibaba.
That was racist.
What do you mean? Why is that racist?
Well, it's not racist, but because you are.
I liked Giant Baba, and
Okay.
I liked Muhammad Ali. So
Alibaba.
I mean, the original one was Antonio Ali, but I was like, I don't want to do that. I was like, Alibaba, like got a little. It's got to be a little, just like you. It's got to be a little gimmicky.
Yeah, of course.
Be a little gimmicky. I'm like Alibaba. Yeah, that's gimmicky as hell. Anyway, I'm reading a lot of history right recently.
You've been reading a lot of biographies and stuff like that too, right?
Yeah. I mean, recently I was, but no reason. I've been reading a lot of like first world primary source history docs. I just picked up like a bunch of there's a bookstore in DC called Second Story Books that's got like a bunch of used books and they have them for $3 each.
Adams Morgan, right?
Close to DuPont. Like it's like 2 blocks over from DuPont Circle.
Gotcha. I know where it is.
But yeah, it's like right next to a comic book store too.
Yeah, I know exactly where it is.
Exactly. So they had they had a sale like 3 books or $3 books each, and I was like, ooh, I'll take that. I'll take that. Ooh, I was being a massive nerd. Wonder why I'm still single. Anywho,
we're gonna have a dating auction for you.
No, we are not. No, we are not because
it is going to be for charity.
Look. I will give myself $100 if you look closely enough. This is fake money.
Oh, but that's fake money.
It's fake as that. Look at that, motion pictures purposes. Yo, okay. Last thing I got. So you have to go, but I like. My boy was like, "Hey, can I borrow? You got any cash on you?" And I gave him this. And he goes, "Oh, thanks." And he looks at it for a second. He just goes,
"Dick."
Yo, isn't this illegal? I'm about to call the cops on you. He's so mad. He was so mad. Oh man.
One thing I want to say before we get out of here is a shout out to a dear friend of mine. Her name's Nancy. She has had some things to get over in her life, and she is a actress. She's doing what she wants to do. She's acting. I just want to say shout out to you, my dear friend. Congratulations.
Shout out to Nancy. Congratulations. You're going to do big things. We're all going to do big things. Josh, Job, Ryan, Liam, everyone, CC, thank you guys so much for joining us today. It has been a hell of a show. It's been a hell of a week. We can't wait to get to bed. We need to eat some food. Please go eat some food if you haven't eaten some food today, because I know way too many people who haven't eaten food today. Go do that. Appreciate all of you for tuning in. As always, I'm Umar.
I'm Trevor.
Be sure to stay happy, healthy, and as always, keep it real.
Love those who are far, hug those who are close, and have a good week, guys. Take care of yourselves.
Have a good week, you filthy animals. Take care.
They're still here.
I can't.
Why are they still here?
I can't.
I don't know why they're still here. Get out of here.